Alrighty, good morning, good afternoon, how are we all doing? My name is Jacob. Welcome back to, or welcome to Tired Reads. If you're new here, we are in a new setup. I'm trying to find, it's hard to find different spots to film in my tiny room. That's very tiny. So, we are doing April, is it April? April wrap-up. Just adjust you. Okay, perfect. I don't remember any order I've read these books in, and I don't think I've been updating my spreadsheet, so this shall be interesting. Why am I out of breath? All I did was sit down. That's embarrassing. It's really embarrassing.
Are you not ashamed of yourself? Are you not embarrassed? This is really embarrassing.
Yeah. Okay, so I believe this was the first one. No. I believe this was the first one. Was Night Film by, maybe it's better here. Listen, I'm just experimenting with things. Night Film by Marrisa Pessl. This was a 5-star read. I loved it so much. It was so much fun. We follow this private, independent news reporter kind of deal as he is trying to make a breakthrough in this case that this woman has died under kind of mysterious circumstances. And so he's going in to investigate it, and the family that she belonged to is a famous director who he came out with like some big claims that ruined his career, and is why he is now a private investigator or like news reporter instead of like with the big news agencies. Sure. There's some like culty vibes in there, which I really loved. There's mixed media, which I adored. Like, there's so much. I love a good mixed media book. Like, if it has mixed media, I think I'm in. Like, I'm in. It's I don't make those rules. There's mixed media, 5 stars. I think that's how that works. If I cross the T, carry the 2. This was very, very fun. I highly recommend it. The only like downside complaint I have is the ending. I wish it was a little bit more ambiguous. It kind of tied things up too perfectly for me. So I wish there was a bit of a, what's the word I'm looking for? A bit of a, was it real? Was it not? A little like on edge, you know? If you know, you know, you know. There's also a viewfinder, and I'm not used to looking at myself, so I'm very easily distracted right now. But 5 stars, so we started off the month really well. Then, so these first 3 are from the Reading the Oldest Books That I Own video, which I'll link somewhere up there or in the description somewhere. The next book is The Toll by Neal Shusterman, and I gave this, I believe, oh wow, this is such a lot. Let's adjust this. Oh, what? Who cares? Who cares? This is The Toll by Neal Shusterman. I gave it 4 stars, possibly even 3. No, 4 stars. This is the conclusion to the Arc of the Scythe series. So, so major spoilers, I guess. We're following Citra and Rowan and their final conclusion to their scythedom. I love Neal Shusterman. I love all his works. This one, I didn't love the ending so much. And I don't know if that's, I talked in the video, I think, about like, I don't want to say immature. Maybe I matured, and it's a little bit, it was a little bit too like easy, and I wanted more hardcore, which like is understandable when you sign up for YA, which I think is why it's a me problem. But it was a great conclusion. I didn't like how many perspectives there were. Like every chapter we were going to a new person, and by the end I didn't feel concluded because I didn't spend time with a lot of certain characters, and so their stories didn't feel 100% completed. But I did like the addition of the new characters. I just wish they didn't get as much screen time, you know? Follow the tried and true. Then, for the final book in that video, I read Exhalation by Ted Chiang. Mixed feelings. I believe I gave this 4 stars. I did indeed. I loved some stories, detested others. So this is a short story collection, science fiction, by this author who, he wrote the short story for the movie Arrival, starring Amy, I think it's Amy Adams. Anyways, so out of the 9 stories I gave, probably there was only like 2 or 3 I really hated. So I really loved The Merchant and the Alchemist Gate, Exhalation, What's Expected of Us, Daisy's Patent Automatic Nanny, I Know Anxiety is the Dizziness of Freedom. Yeah, those are the ones I loved. And then I hated The Life Cycle of Software Objects and The Great Silence, I think it is. That was painful. But like, what I've learned from this is I think I like short story collections because maybe it's the ADHD in me. Who knows? But I like that there's short stories and that they go kind of fast and they tell a complete thing, but you're not wasting like 800 pages on it. So I gotta test that theory. But maybe it's not true because I'm still in the middle of the White Spring Rest. Anyways, I digress. This is a great short story collection. If you're new to like the sci-fi, like getting into the more advanced sci-fi kind of world, I recommend this. If you're new to short stories, I don't know about that one. The audiobook was great. I listened to mostly the whole thing on audio. Great, though I hated the narrator for the software cycle of us or whatever. It's like the software life cycle of object, whatever that is. I hated that narrator for like a specific character. She was great, not for that character. Oh my god, I would have. Anyways, we're moving on. We're moving on. From there, I attempted and failed a 24-hour readathon, which you can watch there or down there. I read the final revival of Opal and Nev by Dawnie, Walton, and I really enjoyed this. This is another book I gave 4 stars. There were just some things went on for a little too long. Some things were a little redundant. But it was so well written. It's like a mockumentary. Words. Where we are interviewing this fake band, but it's centered around very current and realistic events such as the 70s. So it talks about racism in the South, in America in general, in the 70s and the 80s, and even present day, following this news reporter. So we follow them coming into become Opal and Nev, and then the falling apart, and where they stand today, and the kind of like twist involved when they're kind of both, I guess, morally gray. Is that what they are? Like, some of them do have good sides to them, but they're also revealed the bad sides as well. So highly recommend this. The audiobook was great for this one. Full cast of characters. Love a full cast. That's another way to get 5 stars. You got a full cast? You got a full cast? Boom, 5 stars. That's right under mixed media, 5 stars. I don't make these rules. I just follow them. And then the next 2 books is from the Best Friend Picks by Reading My Books, or whatever I'm calling it. Oh no, it's uploading right now. The first one was Last Looks by Howard Michael Gould. I gave this 3 stars. It was an okay book. The things that I really hated about it were like the over push of environmentalism. I know that's like a thing like in the description, but it was like every other page we were talking about how he lives by 100 things and that's it. Like, he only owns 100 things, and if he wants something else, he has to take something else. So like, there was one part he had to ride the subway, but to ride the subway you need the Metro card, and to get the Metro card he would have to obtain that object, and so he would have to get rid of another object. So he like got rid of his wallet. I'm like, whoa.
You smell lipstick in my Valentino white bag.
Let's not, because that doesn't make sense. But like every 5 seconds. And like he like went to like a grocery store to get a sandwich, because I can't sit still right now. I'm just flinging this book all over the place. We went to this grocery store and he had to get like a sandwich, and he was like, oh, is this like, how was it transported? How was like, did you use packaging? She's like, well, yeah, I used packaging, like, duh. She's like, I didn't raise a chicken and like made it from scratch, which is what he wanted. And so he didn't get the sandwich because it had some carbon footprint attached to it, which I'm like, I understand, you know, we'll circle back to the whole environmental thing, but it was getting annoying past like the 30-page mark. Like, it was starting, he's like, this is your only character trait, and I was getting annoyed by it. But let me tell you the actual plot of this. The actual plot is we're following this detective who turns into a private investigator because he was shunned from the police force after making a false accusal, and then going back into claiming, like, admitting the false accusal and setting the police department up in flames, basically. And then so he is hired, his ex-girlfriend disappears. He is hired to help this world-renowned British actor that has come to America, and he is, what's the word? He is the prime suspect for his wife's killing because he was found to be passed out drunk. He's known alcoholic, and it goes from there. It was fun. I liked Charlie, like, kind of, like, once I got past, like, the annoyance of the environmental thing, I kind of liked him as a character. So I don't know if I'd pick up the next one because it's like a series. I may pick up the next one. I'm just not in no rush. Maybe if like it's in Libby, I'll do it, because like I ain't trying to buy it. That's a lie, I would totally buy it. Next up in that video, I read Westside by W.M. Akers, and this is a fantasy historical book set in Manhattan in 1920s-ish. It's like this... The west side and the east side are divided by this mysterious, like, shadow creatures that are killing, making people disappear. And, like, thousands of people disappeared at once, and now New York is segregating the east side and the west side. And this is during the time of Prohibition, so we have gangs running the west side. Basically, we have, like, one that's controlling, like, the illegal bootleg sale of alcohol, and then the other one is doing like the do-gooder. He's the only way to like protect yourself from the shadows is by light, obviously. He like goes door to door, gives candles, he keeps fires aflamed and all that. So we're following our private investigator. She is hired to find a missing glove, and she is only works in tiny mysteries, so things of like, where's my missing glove, I lost my toothbrush, like little things, nothing big, like who killed him, like nothing like that. She's chill, like part-time, but her dad was a full-time investigator from the police, and then he died, and she's also trying to figure out the cause of death for him as well. That was that. I gave this 2.53 stars. I think I was generous and gave it 3 stars on Goodreads, but it wasn't a good time. There were so many words that weren't needed. I was so bored by the end. I just wanted it to be done. And I'm like, there's a series? There's a sequel? I think there's 3, actually. I don't know how there's 3 sequels. 3 sequels. 2 more books in the series. But I did not enjoy it that much. It wasn't for me. Maybe it's for you. Not for me. What else did I liked our main character, Gilda, was probably the only saving grace. There was a romance really awkwardly thrown in there. There was, I don't know, it seemed like we jumped around from things a little too quickly. Like we spent time on things that we didn't need to spend times on, and then jumped around a little too quickly on things we should have spent, like developing the romance, or I wish we had more scenes with the mob, because I like a mob. But yeah, that's that. Let me put her up there. And then the final book I read is We Are the Weather, The Saving the Planet Starts at Breakfast, or Begins at Breakfast by, what's his face? Jonathan Safran Foer. It's a nonfiction about environmental change and how you don't need to go completely vegan to offset the carbon footprint of what you eat. He's really saying like, if you eat meat only at dinner, then that's doing a huge amount of work. But it also talked about like how he has guilt sometimes of where he goes around and preaches this stuff, but then he'll go into his hotel room and eat a hamburger, and that like battle of guilt. And I really enjoyed his conversations of it. I really loved this book. It's narrated by the author. It's very short. It was a 5-hour read. I'm reading on 2-speed. It's a quick read. It's a quick read is all I'm saying. But I really enjoyed it, and like that guilt of like, you're saying you're gonna do all these things, but then you turn around and you're like, oh, but it's more convenient to just eat the fast food, or like just to eat the meat rather than go and find something else. And he talked about like food deserts, and it was overall really, really good. And I want to pick up his other book, Animal Farm. Animal something. Eating Animals? Maybe that is what it's called. Eating Animals? I think that's what it's called. But, so that's that. And then the final 2 books I am going to be reading these last few days. It's April 28th now that I'm filming it, so there's a couple of days left in April. So these may be tacked on to May's wrap up. It is for the spring fling-a-ween, so I'm going to be reading Not a Happy Family by Shari Lapena, and hopefully Such a Quiet Place by Miranda. So I don't know how these are going to go, but I'm going to get this video up. Hopefully, that's such a lie. I gotta read this. I can't edit. You want me to edit? Oh, so hopefully these 2, I'll just do one of these. It's a cute picture. I'll be taking a picture of that. So those are all the books I read. So it was a very successful reading month. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 books. Like, go me. That's that. Wow. I did it. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed your short time with me. If you did, maybe like and subscribe if you would like to stick around, see other shenanigans and chaos that I will be definitely ensuing. I always do. But no hard feelings if you don't. I don't care. Let me know how your day was. Or leave a, what shall we leave? Let's leave a check mark. I like the check mark because, you know, we completed almost all the books on the TBR, so leave the check mark down below, or let me know how your day was. All the books mentioned are linked down below, as well as my Instagram and Goodreads. And I think that's it. I think that's it. So, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day, night, or whatever. And I hope you have fun celebrating whatever you may be celebrating. Thank you so much for watching. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.